Dear friends, BAJWA Immigration Consultants welcome you all to our online portal. Friends, today in this video, we will give you the information related to questions which student visa candidates generally think of in terms of their future perspectives. Therefore, in order to have a better quality of life, these individuals who are born in developing countries usually pursue moving to developed countries like Australia. So, when a student lands on Australian soil, from day one, he has an intention to get settled here. After paying all his tuition fees and finishing his education, when student seeks a permanent residency, sometimes Immigration Department informs him that he is a foreign national, and as a result, he is subjected to different rules. As a result, he is ineligible to apply for permanent residency. Certainly, this makes an individual extremely disheartened and sad. We cannot give you a straightforward solution. However, we can give you a valuable information which can help you to move towards permanent residency pathway very easily. Alright friends, in order to do that, let's get started. You can see the information up on your screens. However, we're going to make it simplified for you so that you can understand it in a better way. Mostly, students who arrive in Australia usually always have a common question: whether their course is on Australian permanent residency occupation list. And it's a very common question, either you believe me or not, but that's what the reality is. There is no yes or a no answer to this question. Immigration Department says when an individual receives a student visa, it does not guarantee him that he will gain a permanent residency as well. These both are totally different visa categories, and hence different laws are applicable. That is why Immigration Department says when you receive a student visa, then you need not to think about PR. But those students who apply for a student visa back home, sometimes, not always, their consultants over there provide incorrect information and give them assurance that after completion of their studies, they will get a 2-year work permit, and during that time, they'll be able to get the permanent residency. Let's look at the process, what it entails step by step, so that it can give you a better understanding about the whole PR game. First of all, we would like to let you know that in past, whenever Immigration Department issued any letter, there was always a tagline at the bottom of the page, as you can see up on your screen: people, our business. On your screen, you are viewing a visa approval, or sometimes it's called as a grant letter, which has been issued by Department of Immigration. The personal information of the candidate is wiped out due to confidentiality. However, at the bottom, you can clearly see people, our business, and people especially in the bold. You can understand what is the purpose of its core principles and what it actually means. At the present, this tagline is not written in any documents anymore that are being issued by the Department of Immigration. When you apply for a PR in Australia, there are 2 lists in place, as you can see up on your screen. The first one is MLTSSL, and the other one is STSOL. Though in the past these lists had different names, we are just letting you know so that you don't get confused. The PR story is hidden in between these 2 lists, or we can say the whole PR game is actually hidden or revolves around these 2 lists. Now, I have just opened a website in front of you, and the address is www.homeaffairs.gov.au, as it's highlighted as well upon the screen. This is an immigration website. Now, I'm going to tell you step by step how the department works and all that information that you can access online on this website, and you can rely on this information because it is the information which is being released by the Department of Immigration, as it says at the top, Australian Government Department of Home Affairs. First of all, what we need to do here is click on Individual and Travelers icon. It will open up a new page as it's on the screen, and then we will click on Working in Australia icon, and we've just done that. And once you are on that page, if you can go to Skill Select, as I've highlighted, here you can see two things. One, occupation ceiling, which means profession. You can click on that icon, which will give you, at the top you can see occupation ceiling for 2017 and 2018. As I'm sure you're not aware of, in case in Australia, a financial year starts from 1st of July and ends on 30th of June next year. So for this year, 2017, for the financial year that started on 2017, it will be finishing on 30th of June 2018. In Australia, that's how the financial year works. That's why it's very important for us to understand. I'm going to shed the light on current year, which will end on 30th of June 2018. Let's look at the occupation. For instance, accountants. How many they are required. Here you can see that they need 4785 accountants, as I've highlighted, and so far they have only found 2633. In the first column, there are occupation IDs, as you can see at the top, and then which are also called next to that, or these occupation IDs, you can also call them ANZSCOS codes for each occupation. Next column is the description, where occupation names are listed. For example, accountant, childcare, or you can talk about auditors or engineers, and so on. Next column gives you a very important information, occupation ceiling for current year. That is, not to be forgotten, 2017 to 2018. These figures are written in this column, and they are based on number of people that Immigration Department has released or they require at the beginning of the year, like accountants were. As you can see, if we scroll down, 4785, and so far, and the adjacent column will give you the figures, how many they have already received so far. So it's 26633 shows how many accountants they have found so far. And another thing that's very important is the asterisk, or we can say a star, at the back of the occupation. As you can see, there is one next to accountants. So this star indicates that the supply is less, whereas the demand of this particular occupation, or any occupation that has got a star, is more. That is why accountants, auditors, IT professionals, engineers are quite worried about at the moment, because they are not receiving invitations from the Immigration Department. For example, if you see electronic engineers, let me find them. How many are required? 1,000. But so far, only 430 are invited by Immigration Department. For example, the next one is electrical engineers. The ceiling is 1042, and only 179 have received invitations so far. There is a star or asterisk next to electronic engineers, which shows that more people have applied in this occupation. On the other hand, there is no star or asterisk next to electrical engineers, which means that there is an actual shortage of applications in this occupation. And that formula is applicable to all the occupations on this list. Similarly, 3296 seats are available for civil engineering, as you can see up on the screen, and only 345 seats have been occupied so far. Recently, if we look up at the top of the list, a new occupation is added. That's called livestock farmers. So how many they require? 4196. And how many they've got so far? None. So that's why it says 0. So who are livestock farmers? Many occupations will fall under this category. Those people who are working overseas in dairy are also included in this profession, and we will talk about it in another session. Let's look at some few other occupations. For example, registered nurses. Let me find out where they are, because there are really a lot of them required. So 16741, and so far 696 are found. So the occupation, next one that we're going to look at is software and application programmer, which has also got a star next to it, which means most of the applicants with 70 to 75 points have not received PR invitation, or we can say EOI invitation from Department of Immigration yet. I would say that those occupations with star are really at risk. But there's another occupation. Let's find it. ICT security specialists. Let me find it where it is. Yeah, I've just found it. They require about 2391, and so far they've got only 192. If you pay attention, for instance, to social worker occupation, how many are required? Let's see, 1562, and so far only 103 are found. So in Australia, the requirement is bachelor's or master's of social work, and there is no star in this occupation. So you can analyze that how this occupation could be beneficial for you. These were the professional occupations where bachelor's or master's qualification are the prerequisites. Now we're going to focus on trade occupations, and I have highlighted them in yellow, and all they are come under trade occupations. So let's talk about them. Let's first look at the motor mechanic. How many are required? 5980. And how many they found? 47. Next one could be bricklayer, and how many are stonesmen? 1271, and they have so far only found 9. Another one is painting. 2780, and only 5 are found. What about glazers? 1000, and only 1 professional, at least 1. Carpenters are 6968, and only 17 so far. There are 2 reasons why these occupations have not been filled. In our 12 years of profound experience, we have noticed that nowadays visa approval rate is significantly higher in bachelor's and master's program, and especially from some countries, visa approval rate is quite low in trade-related occupations. One of the major reasons behind that is, as the fees for bachelor's and master's is much more higher as compared to trade courses, so the advisors get higher commission from your tuition fees. And that's the reason that they don't suggest these trade occupations, as they will get less commission. So as a result, what happens? Only those students who change their course over here move into trade occupations. Otherwise, others try their luck in IT, engineering, accounting, or other bachelor's or master's programs. So let's look at another occupation here, that's chef, which sometimes people consider it as a cook as well. But let me tell you, chef is regarded slightly higher ranked than cook. So how many do we need? 2675? And however, only 54 seats are taken so far. Now, we need to pay attention to one thing, that few days earlier, a note is added at the end where it is, I'm just going to highlight that, the cursor is just there, which says that the ceiling of accountants as I explained above, that's 4785 accountant positions are needed, and in this occupation, more categories are included like Employee Nomination Scheme, RSMS, which is Regional Visa, and Point Test. So a lot of accountants are coming to Australia for studies. So we would like to suggest that those applicants who are coming over here from overseas to study accounting and think that they will get PR easily, you need to be very vigilant. We're not saying that you don't come here, but what we are trying to tell you is that as soon as you arrive in Australia, consult an honest, straightforward, intelligent, logical migration agent so that your future will be on right track. So what I'm going to talk about now is invitation rounds, as you can see, which is just before occupation ceiling. So you need to just click on that cursor, and then what you're going to see here is current invitation round. So now on 7th of Feb 2018 invitation round, you can see this is a technical or a bit of a complex thing, so I'm not going to go into detail, but let's look into subclass 189489. So what we'll do is technical and complex things we're going to talk about later, but you in our later videos. But what we're going to talk about today is, as I've said earlier, occupations like accountants, auditors, electronic engineers, industrial, mechanical and production engineers, and engineering professionals, ICT business and system analysts, software and application programmers, and computer network professionals. So points have really gone high in these professions. And the reason for that is, as I've mentioned earlier, the current financial year is approaching soon, and it's coming to an end on 30th of June 2018. So it's very natural that these occupation quota are being filled. So it is an important point to be noted that they may are not issuing invitations on purpose. So let's look at subclass 189. So all those applicants who wish to apply in the following categories: accountants, auditors, electronic engineers, industrial, mechanical and production engineers, and other engineering professionals, ICT business and system analysts, software and application programmers, and computer network professionals need to be very careful and cautious. If you look at the statistics, invitation rounds in July were about 2,000. Let me find. Yeah, as you can see up on the screen, I've just highlighted them. 2,000. In August, they were again 2,000. And so far total, as you can see in the last column at the bottom, 13551 invitations have been issued. So let's look in subclass 489. Total invitations, 651 have been issued so far for this year. And when I say this year, you need to understand it is from 2017 to 2018, from July to June 2018. Now we need to focus on one important thing, and most people inquire that those individuals who have siblings already in Australia who are permanent residents, whether they will receive their sibling points towards their PR. So the Immigration Department answers this question as follows, as you can see up on the screen as well. Skill Select first allocates places to Skilled Independent Visa Subclass 189. Means those applicants who apply for a visa independently based on their own points without seeking any help from someone. So that's pretty much very clear. So that means if they find, for example, accountants with 75 or 80 points, their seats are filled, and then they will issue the invitation to those candidates to apply for PR who have got 75 or 80 points individually for 189. After that, If some seats are remaining, if you're lucky and there are some seats remaining, then those leftover seats will be allocated to visa subclass 489. However, if all seats are taken by visa subclass 189, then there will be no invitations issued for visa subclass 489. So that's the answer for those people who think that their siblings have permanent residency and they have done accounting or IT or engineering, and they are that means they are in an illusion that they would get an invitation or they would get an easy invitation. Then you can see throughout the year, only let me see throughout the year how many are there. I think 651, I suppose 651 invitations have been issued. So you can do the maths, and that's how to check an occupation ceiling, yearly quota for each occupation, and how many seats have been already allocated to the applicants for permanent residency. In order to reach your final destination, and that is Australian permanent residency, both student visa and PR trains should run on a parallel track at the same pace. If you want to get PR based on your education qualification, you need to regularly check immigration website, and you will find a lot of information on this website, and the address is, as you can see up on the screen as well, www.homeaffairs.gov.au. It is good to gain an information from internet, but you should not try to interpret yourself. You always need to remember that seeking information without a teacher or an expert may deviate you towards the wrong direction. Similarly, we have 12 years of immigration and education extensive experience. Therefore, you can take advantage from us. If you like the information shared by us today, then please like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel. It's BAJWA Immigration, so that in future you can easily access more information and can make your life smooth and easier. The more reliable information you have access to, the less apprehension it will cause. In this way, you will be confident and competent enough in decision making. Hope this information will be of great assistance and guidance. We would like to thank you for your time.